Okay, you are now being recorded.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Health meeting for Wednesday, June 24th, 2020. Meeting is being held in the Old Town Hall, upper level. It is also being video and audio recorded for future cable broadcasts, and also will be on YouTube. This is also a Zoom meeting in accordance with the governor's guidance on the open meeting law due to social distancing and so forth. This sometimes is required to keep everyone safe. So we'll call the meeting to order. We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everyone. We're going to start with the Board of Health FY21 meeting schedule. At this point, due to conflicts in meeting time, the Board of Selectmen are now changing their meeting time till 6 p.m., which was our meeting time on the second Wednesday of each month. I'm not sure how this is going to fit into everybody's schedule. We can either change to a different Wednesday and keep it at 6, or we can start at 5 p.m. and I'm not sure how that fits into everyone's schedule. So you talk to me. I can do any time, so it really doesn't matter.
Hey, Matt, what other nights do you have meetings and stuff?
So the only night I'm not going to be able to do is Monday. So I can do Tuesday. Honestly, Thursday is going to be the best, and 5 is going to be a little tough for me to get here. So,
Mr. Chairman, the Conservation Commission is thinking of meeting on Tuesdays in this case. So if they were successful, that would be Thursdays available.
Yeah, are you guys still meeting every first and third Wednesday? I know you're not, Kevin. Matt?
no, I'm going to be just Mondays from now on. A slight change.
Okay. So we could do a different Wednesday?
Or Thursday.
Or Thursday?
Yeah.
I like Thursday.
Thursday seems to be a pretty good evening. Kevin, how about you?
Yeah, that would work.
I think we need to check and see if we can get somebody to film it on Thursdays. That's the only thing. So why don't we tentatively look at the second Thursday, good?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Why don't we tentatively look at the second Thursday of each month, depending on if cable can do the recording going forward.
Okay, I'll confirm with cable.
Okay. Other than that, well, I'm thinking it could also be a Tuesday. Is Tuesday good? I need an alternative.
As a backup, Tuesday would be okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday would be okay?
Yeah, I guess the only conflict is Monday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's Concom, you say, is meeting on Tuesdays, but they don't start till 7:30.
They don't, but if we were able, and I haven't been able to talk to Agent Pilling about this, the thought was to only have one meeting per night in this building if we could,
Okay,
simply because of the sanitation requirements.
right.
I'm having a hard time hearing Jim. Did you say Concom is meeting on Thursdays now?
No, they want to start meeting on Tuesdays.
Hi, Kevin. No, what I said, they're meeting on Tuesdays, but I haven't confirmed which Tuesday of the month they're meeting. But what I did say was, and I haven't been able to talk to Agent Pilling about this, the consensus was to only schedule one meeting per night in this building, if that were possible, because of the sanitation requirements for COVID.
Okay. Well, because with me, full disclosure, I'm an associate member now of the Concom.
Okay,
So I got to make sure that I'm not in conflict now, saying yes to you and, you know,
Well, let's go for that Thursday, and if that doesn't work,
yeah.
you know what?
Are we
I'm-
looking at
I'm-
5 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
Six.
Can you make it here by 5, Matt, or?
5:30?
No, tough, huh?
that'll be tough with me when I come home from Boston.
Yeah.
So
I don't
6?
see any reason why we couldn't meet over in the other building and still be able to maintain our social distancing on a Wednesday evening. Is there a conflict there?
No, there isn't. I did have a brief discussion with the town administrator today about using the lower level meeting room for meetings. We have not finalized that, but it was discussed that the lower level meeting room for certain meetings could be used. So I would say that that's probably an accurate statement. It depends on what's on the agenda and if there's any public participation.
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it, we do not get many people at our meetings. So I think we might be able to do a Wednesday evening as normal at 6 PM over in the other building in the downstairs meeting room. So that's, I think, going to be our second option.
That works.
We'll go for the Thursday here. If we can't do that because of not being able to be filmed, we can do a Wednesday, probably the same Wednesday, same time, over in the other building. I don't think we've ever had more than 8 people come to one of our meetings since I've been here, so I think that's probably a pretty good option. How do you guys feel about it?
Yep.
That's fine.
Okay, that's good. Let's move on then. We'll see what we can do and then we can finalize it.
I'm sorry, Thursdays at 6 PM here is first option. Second option would be Wednesdays at 6 PM next door.
What do you guys want for first option?
Thursday.
For Thursday.
Thursday
At 6 PM?
at 6 PM?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks, guys. Next item is to award the town trash bag manufacturing contract. We received 2 bids, one from our present vendor, Mansfield Paper. Mansfield, what is it, Mansfield Paper? Mansfield Paper and Waste Zero. I'm going to throw some prices at you. For large bags, the quote from Mansfield was $53.25 for a case, and Waste Zero was $49 per case. That was a difference of $4.25 per case. Difference per bag was 0.017 cents. I think last time it was 0.015. The small bags, Mansfield was $34. Waste Zero was $30.90 for a difference of $3.10 and a difference per bag of 0.0124. So it's like 1.2 cents a bag. So
Mr. Chairman, I know that Mansfield paper is more expensive, but we tried the Waste Zero and the bag quality was absolutely horrendous. It was extremely poor. So I'd like to make a motion to award the contract to Mansfield Paper, given that the pricing isn't drastically different, but for the quality of the bag, I think that it would be appropriate that we stay with the higher quality bag.
I'll second that with discussion. I agree with Matt. Especially right now when we increase the price and we went to a lower quality, we're just asking for it, you know what I mean? So
Right.
everybody likes the
Yeah,
bag.
I would agree. And the fact that we had maybe one complaint, and I think it was due to the twist tie top. But
Yes.
other than that, the bags have held up very well. And however, we can't consider it. We're in discussion now on the motion. We did get an optional quote from Waste Zero. They have flex bags now available. Actually, they look pretty darn good, but they had a drawstring in the top. But we can't consider it because our quote was for clear plastic, only a bottom seam. So, but I think we might want to look at that going forward in the future. Our next contract to have them price out flex bags.
They could,
Yeah,
they
they
could
can
give
always
us
send us a sample.
Give us like a good amount of samples, so maybe we can.
We have some in the office, so
Okay.
we'll be able to look at them for next year.
Go into service and see how they really work, you know, really packing the bag and like that, you know, and
Right.
send 1 or 2 samples, but if they could send us a roll or something, that would be better, so we could really give it a good test.
Right, okay. Now I'm going to act on a motion now. All those in favor? To award the bid to Mansfield Paper. All opposed? Okay, the bid is awarded to Mansfield Paper for trash bags. Next item is, we got the letter from Simple Recycling.
Yes.
We received a correspondence from Simple Recycling, and I'll read it quickly. Dear municipal partner, the COVID-19 pandemic has materially changed our nation and the world at large. While the full impacts and interruptions to our business are yet to be fully realized, in the immediate term they are significant. We have been challenged to make difficult but prudent decisions to ensure the continuity of our programs in your community and at a national level. Because of this, effective June 1st, 2020, please accept this notification that Simple Recycling will no longer be able to provide the monthly per pound payment to municipalities. Now, let me stop there just for a moment. The per pound was 1 cent, and we've been averaging like $30 a month of revenue incoming from them. We would also like to request a release from our obligation to pay the rebate for March, April, and May. They want to go back and not pay us for the previous 3 months. We understand the magnitude of this request. We have not resumed service in over 30% of our communities nationwide and are making every effort to not discontinue service in your community. So I could go on and on about what they've stated, but that's the bottom line. They don't want to give us our $30 a month for the past 3 months, and going forward, they don't want to give us anything monthly. And that's been the average, about $30, $33. The difference that it's made in our solid waste, getting out of the solid waste system, has made a pretty good impact. I mean, it's not fantastic. They do have I was reading the contract, they do have a 180-day notification period before they can break the contract. But I wonder, this is what we're going to talk about, whether it's worth it or not to, still 2 years on the contract.
You said 2 years?
So until such time, we can do a little bit of homework and try to find a new person. What's your pleasure? Do we want to continue with them without payment? Or do we just want to say no and see what happens?
I think it's going to be hard to find another company that does something like they do here. You know, right with the curbside, it's already established. I think it's not so much the money. I mean, $30 a month isn't, you know, like life-changing for the town. I think the fact that we keep that extra material out of the solid waste stream, you know, that's where we see the much bigger cost savings, you know, to the town. But I think in general, it's not really so much about the money as it is just an added benefit and a service to the residents of the town. You know, I do know a lot of people that do use the program, and it's convenient. You know, you just get a couple pink bags and you just leave it at the end of your driveway. You don't have to try and find a bin and things like that. And I think that the end result of the materials you put in that bag, you know, if it can't be used, you know, you bring it to the Salvation Army or something like that, you know, what happens if it's not up to their standards and can't be sold in one of the stores or whatnot? Is, you know, what happens within, at least here we know it gets shredded, you know, they'll use it one way or another, whether it's car insulation or something like that. So I think the program they have is very good, and it's definitely a good service to the residents of the town. I don't have any problem not having them pay us as long as they're not going to change what the service they're providing. And as far as going back, you know, the March, April, May, I know that due to COVID, the restrictions, they weren't operating for, I think, half of March and April anyway. So we wouldn't see anything from then as it was.
Right.
You know, whether you want to try to go after them to get May, you know, that's, you know, one month.
You know, we're talking under $400 a year of income, and I would agree with you that we probably should continue with the service, even though we're not going to be receiving the penny per pound of it. Kevin, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just concerned, is there gonna be interruptions in the service? Because I've had a couple of times where, maybe because of COVID, where I left bags out, I had to call in. As long as they continue the service, I'm fine with it, because it's a great
Okay.
service.
And,
So we could pass that info to them saying, yeah, we understand what's going on, but we still would like you to be partners with Dayton.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to accommodate the request of Simple Recycling to not pay for March, April, and May, and not pay the amount going forward.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing
No.
none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Thank you, fellas. Okay, under old business, the first item, 4A, appoint, or at least recommend appointment of Marilyn Edge as health agent to the Board of Selectmen, since the Board of Selectmen do the appointing. This is all state funded, no cost to us. So if there's a motion to recommend to the Board of Selectmen appointment of Marilyn Edge as health agent.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that carries also. Thank you. I'm going to ask Mr. Pilling to come on there for a moment. We're going to be discussing reopening procedures and policies. I know the latest meeting he had with the town administrator was this morning. They talked about a number of things. I believe some of them had to deal with reopening procedures. So, Todd, if you would like to fill us in on the items A through E, and 4B1, A through E, please.
Sure. So A is Town Hall. The governor has a Monday, so we can go to 50% capacity. So we updated the occupancy of each room. So they're going to adding more people in. There's still one room in there where They can't have all the employees. The assessor's office is still too small. They can only run with one right now. And the treasurer clerk office is still pretty tight. So we're looking to maybe relocate one of the employees in there to a different location, or still doing the split shifts. I know Mallory was talking to people in that office about that. Our office here in Old Town Hall, we've been able to run full staff because it's such a large space, and we're continuing to do that. Our building has been open because we were handling trash and the bulky item and constructions were essential. So we've been open over here, but it's only the building and the Board of Health and veterans. Veterans has been closed. So there hasn't been any issues there. Town Hall is supposed to be opening. I think they're thinking about Monday opening to the public. Right now it's by appointment only. So library is still doing curbside pickup and drop off. We're trying to relocate the computers to another location outside the library where there's some space so they can run them. They're kicking around like the primetime building or possibly the basement of Town Hall or possibly even here. That's still being discussed right now. They're talking to the IT person about that. Primetime is still closed. The adult day program is still closed until, I'm assuming phase 4 would be the earliest they could open. Restaurants, we only had one that did outdoor dining, but it wasn't even outdoor dining, it was outdoor seating. And now we're assuming some of the restaurants have been opened. We are going to be going around tomorrow. I believe Mr. Pires is going to go around and check with them all, see who's open and make sure they're following the protocols. And then Parks and Recreation, Roz and I tagged all the parks that they're open. However, still maintaining a 6-foot distance. We're not cleaning them on a regular basis. We took away the porta-johns. And I guess we only had one problem, and if Mr. Rhines was here, he could weigh in. But
Mr. Rhines is here this evening with us.
okay. So he can weigh in.
I don't know if he
You know
wants
more
to get
about
on
that.
to speak.
So
No,
yeah, you
from
guys know
my
more about
understanding, with the problem from last evening, we ended up taking one hoop off all the basketball courts within town, so there wouldn't be a regular team or a regular game, if you will, a pickup type game. Last evening, there was probably well over 20 people down at the court by the old police station. And I had received a call and from Mr. Rhines that how many people were there and so forth, and he had to take a little bit of abuse, but we ended up getting the police involved, and we did close the park, the basketball court section. So there was no problem with tennis or hockey, street hockey. The problem is with the number of people, and we don't believe they were Dayton residents either. So, Tim, why don't you just speak for a moment?
Yeah, I went down last night to the courts and just happened to drive by, and at one point there were literally 30 individuals there playing basketball, full court. So that's when I decided that I introduced myself, said who I was, the position I serve under, and these kids were just, young men were just belligerent, whatever it may be. So I just told them, I'm gonna go to the police station. And then the next step, I talked to them. The officers showed up and did remind me that, yes, everything's still under the Board of Health control, which I understand, we know that. And I contacted Mr. Pires and he controlled the rest. I just want to speak on just another issue that has been come up, not an issue, but we're receiving phone calls, and Mr. Pilling has been taking care of a lot of the emails and things with teams and want to start using the field behind Town Hall again. So they've set together their protocols, sent them into our local Board of Health. Mr. Pilling has reviewed these. If he feels that they're good the way they are, he'll let them pass. If he needs to add anything, he has done that. They've been very cooperative in everything they're doing in contacting each department. So I just want to say that, and thank you, Mr. Pilling, for taking it on for us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks. So the question we're faced with is, what are we going to do about the basketball courts? Are we going to keep it remain locked? Or do we want to take the other hoop down, which is a simple resolution to the problem? Somerset has no hoops on their basketball courts.
I would just take the other hoop down until further notice.
Okay, Matt? Any thoughts? Can't hear you, bud. I think you're muted.
I'd say just take the other hoop off until such time as the state allows the games, pickup games and stuff to resume. So
Okay.
otherwise, you can wind up with people trying to break the lock and climb the fence, things like that. I think you can wind up causing more
Possible
trouble.
injury, yeah.
Yeah.
Best bet, take the hoop down. What's your feeling about the other parks?
We have not,
We can take them all down. I mean, that's the simplest way. If there's no problems at the others that you've seen.
thank you again. Mr.
Take them all down.
We've had no issues with the kids in North Dayton. They've been very good. There hasn't been any pickup games of any sort. Just out, shooting around, that type of thing. Up at School Lane, the kids have been really good up there also. We haven't had a problem up there at all. So things have been pretty good. The kids pretty much know what's happening, so. they've been pretty good.
I would say until it's a problem up there, just leave it up.
I would agree with that recommendation.
Okay.
All right, thank you again, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
we'll take the hoop down at the park by the old police station. Jim, do you have anything to add to any of the openings? Okay. Okay, the solution, any questions on any of the things that Agent Pillinger talked about? Okay, well, we can move on. Any public input? No public input. Inspectors reports, health agent?
So I want to throw out that we do have the rabies clinic this Saturday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon. A little bit of logistics to get some tables and stuff there, but it sounds like it's going to go off. The vet's office wanted a few changes to our protocols for the day to make sure that one person gets out of the car, no more than one person, and that kind of stuff. So all those rules are now posted, and they'll be made clear when people get there what they have to do. So I don't see an issue with that. Yeah, I've also been dealing with the schools for reopening in the fall. We've had several lengthy meetings about that, and of course the rules aren't out yet, so everybody's trying to speculate and trying to put plans together. And there's grant money available for certain things, like for example, in the bathrooms you get the sinks that are too close to each other. It's like, all right, what do we do? Do we shut down a sink or do we put a partition up in between them? These are the discussions that have been ongoing. We've also been talking about graduations for both Bristol Aggie and for Dayton Rehoboth, and going over their graduation plans, never mind all the miscellaneous parades and other things that they're doing in the clean out in the lockers and all that. So it's been just a never ending thing, which brings me to the fact that I've been falling behind with plan reviews for new construction, some septic repairs, scheduling some parks. We've just been overwhelmed, and we're kind of honestly hoping after we get by bulky item pickup week that we'd be able to get caught up. But then we throw in deadlines of June 30th for stormwater reporting and emergency preparedness reporting, which didn't help us get caught up. But we're trying to get there, but we're falling behind, and I apologize to everybody whose plans have been sitting here waiting.
Well, we do what we can do, and thank you for that.
That's all I got.
Anything to say?
Yes.
Hello, everyone, again. I just want to bring you in the loop on a discussion that I had with the chairman of the Water Commission. There is, at least it's been confirmed, and I should have something in writing as soon as tomorrow, that potable water is at slim pickings. So I believe that the water commissioners are going to recommend that no new construction permits be issued, possibly as early as tomorrow. So I want the health department to know that if I'm notified that potable water is not available, It's in the building code, chapter 1 to be exact, that if water isn't available, I cannot allow construction to commence. So, of course, with that is sanitation or sanitary sewer, as you know. So without potable water, it seems that we're gonna have at least a temporary stop on new construction.
Jim, is
When I
that
get
just,
that in writing, I'll make sure that the Board of Health gets a copy of it.
Jim, is that just for the Dayton Water District or North Dayton Water as well?
I don't know for certain. I know they've been in discussions between the two, so honestly, I don't want to speculate. I just want to wait till I see it in writing.
That's fine, Jim. I was just curious.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing to hear just in general, so.
No, as I understand it too, there's also a water ban that was put into effect, perhaps is today. So it seems that this is a real scenario, and it's something we're gonna have to deal with. It's going to send some waves, because we've been on a tear now for 10 years with buildings, so I'll be interested to see how this plays out. But nonetheless, if you don't have water, we can't have construction.
Right.
So, all right, thank you.
Jim,
Thanks, Jim.
question on that. If someone opts to build a deep well and they have the available space and distance to other things, could
So-
you issue?
So a private well service is allowed. What it does, though, it changes the lot size requirements
Right.
for new construction. So as long as your department is involved in the well installation, that's a viable option, but it changes what becomes buildable and what's not buildable.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Jim. Any questions on that? Okay, moving forward. Is there any correspondence, Ross?
No.
There is no correspondence, and we have approval of minutes for May 13, May 20, June 1st,
June 10th didn't make it out to you guys.
June 10th. I didn't think I saw June 10th.
Yeah.
So we have three sets of minutes for those 3 dates, May 13, May 20, and June 1. Has everybody read them, right?
Yeah, I can make a motion for May 13th, May 20th, and June 1st. I did not get around to June 10th, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So is the May 13 you didn't get?
No, June 10th, I did not.
Oh, that's because they're not available.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah, that's why I said I didn't see him.
Tried, didn't work.
She tried.
That's fine.
Okay, so any other comments, concerns, questions?
Yeah, just one thing, Mr. Chairman. As we're rolling into summer now, the mosquitoes, the state started their collection and testing of the mosquitoes from the mosquito pools on, I believe it was the 15th. The first arborvirus report came out, I think, yesterday. I have not taken a look at it yet. But I do know that the state did evaluate the arborvirus response plan based on the comments and discussions and forums we had in a review of last year, given that it was a really bad season. So I have not seen the updated version yet. I know we're supposed to be getting it very soon. So probably by the time our next meeting rolls around, we'll have that. And I think it's going to include a better, more comprehensive, or more detailed plan as far as, you know, when communities are going to go from low to moderate to high to extreme risk, things like that. Why one community, if we're high, but, you know, a neighboring community is critical, you know, what's going to be the trigger for us to go to critical, things like that. So, you know, just to think about there going forward in the next month. I think it's going to probably be another bad season. It usually comes in a 2 to 3 year cycle. So, and with the amount of rain we had now, the heat and humidity, and I know the bird activity's been been very high. So just
Okay.
a thought going forward in the next couple months, unfortunately.
Always something, isn't it?
Mr. Chairman, I did see on the internet yesterday that the Bristol County Mosquito Control scheduled spray the diet on the week next Wednesday. See it listed.
Oh, spraying next week? Yeah, Bristol County Mosquito Control should be out next week. We don't have any evidence of any positive West Nile or Triple E anywhere yet, right? They haven't been out testing.
Usually takes a couple life cycles for it to start to show up. I do know you can go on the Bristol County Mosquito Control website and get the email address if you want your property to be added to the weekly spray list. They do have that up and they are out spraying. So, but
Okay.
no, as of right now, generally we won't see any activity in the mosquitoes probably for another 2 weeks.
Okay. Did we have, were they notified of, we just had to change recently on the rabies clinic, correct?
Yes, we'll soon notify.
Everybody's been,
Yep.
these guys up to date? You know, the rabies clinic was changed again, the date.
That was back in March, though. All we did was we updated, Dr. Brucey had a few,
Oh, so we're all set on the date?
precautions. Yep, the date didn't change.
Okay, no. Skip that. The date was changed some time ago, so the current date is the date we'll be using, so. Well, if there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Motion carries. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mr. Pilling, and thank you, Mr. Rhines. And Building Commissioner Agia. Good evening, everyone.
Be
Thank
safe.
you, Roz.
I don't know how to get out.